Good morning, students. I hope you all are doing very good. Today we will study chapter number 9, The Bond of Love, written by Kenneth Anderson of our English book Beehive. Kenneth Anderson was a hunter, nature enthusiast, and chronicler of wildlife. He was a British writer and hunter who wrote many books about his adventures in the jungles of South India. The Bond of Love is the story by Kenneth Anderson which shows the love of a human with a sloth bear whom she called Bruno. Bruno was a sloth bear rescued by the author. This story, The Bond of Love, highlights the emotional bond between human beings and animals. The narrator's wife shares affection with a wild bear and they get attached to each other, shows that animals have feelings and reciprocate to love with warmth and affection. Now, let's start with the chapter. The narrator's wife got a pet sloth bear as a pet due to an accident. It was not intentional to keep sloth bear as a pet, but due to an accident they met with a baby bear and narrator's wife kept it as her pet. 2 years before the time when this story was written, the narrator and his friends were passing through sugarcane fields near Mysore. Farmers were driving out pigs from their fields by shooting at them. As it was apparently over, and suddenly a sloth bear appeared from the fields. It was breathing heavily due to running and the excessive heat. The narrator says that he would never shoot at a bear without any good reason. But one of his companions did not think like him, and the bear was shot dead. The animal lay on the ground, but a part of its furry black body moved. It was a baby bear that had been lying on the mother bear's back. Now that the mother bear was dead, the baby got up and ran around the mother's body crying. The narrator tried to catch the bear. The bear escaped into the sugarcane field. The group chased it and finally the narrator caught hold of it from the back of its neck. The bear tried to scratch them with its hook-shaped claws. The group stuffed the bear in a gunny bag and took it to Bangalore. Now that place Bangalore is known as Bengaluru. The narrator gifted the baby bear or the bear cub to his wife. She was happy to have it, tied a colored ribbon around its neck. As it was a male cub, she named it Bruno. The bear started drinking milk from a bottle. After a few days, it started drinking and eating many things, everything and anything. Bear enjoyed eating everything, like porridge made from any ingredients, curry and rice, regardless of spices and chilies, breads, egg, chocolates, and everything. As for drink, milk, tea, coffee, lime juice, alcoholic liquor, buttermilk, in fact, every type of liquid was enjoyed by the sloth bear. Bruno became friendly with the narrator's Alsatian dogs also. Also, the tenant's children who lived in the narrator's bungalow. As the bear was left free, it played, ran around the house, and even slept in the narrator's bed. Accidentally, Bruno drank the poison kept in the library to kill rats. He was paralyzed and could not stand on its feet. As it reached the narrator's wife, she called him and she realized what had happened. He took Bruno to a veterinary doctor. The doctor took out his medical books and searched the index for poisoning by barium carbonate. He took out a syringe and the medicine. Bruno was struggling to move, vomiting, breathing heavily, and his mouth was open. The doctor asked everyone to hold Bruno. As it screamed, the medicine was injected. As the condition did not change, Another injection was given. 10 minutes later, Bruno's breathing eased. It could stand after 30 minutes and ate food. It gave them such a look which showed that it had been fine all the time and as if nothing had happened to it. In another accident, Bruno drank the used engine oil which the narrator had taken out of his Studebaker car and had kept to get rid of termites. That did not affect Bruno. As the days passed, Bruno grew bigger and outgrew the Alsatian dogs. Still, it was sweet, naughty, and playful like before. He was fond of everyone. The narrator's wife was very attached to Bruno, and Bruno was also attached to narrator's wife. She changed his name to Baba, which means a small boy in Hindustani language. Baba did some tricks. When he was ordered Baba wrestle or Baba box, he would wrestle the person and overpower him. When Bruno was commanded Baba hold gun, he would point a stick at the person as if ready to shoot him. When Baba was asked, Baba, where is baby? He would take out a piece of wood and cradle it affectionately like a baby. He had hidden the piece of wood under the straw bed. As he had grown big, he was chained because he could be a threat to the tenant's children. The narrator and his son advised to send Baba to the zoo. When his wife was advised so by the friends too, she agreed, and a letter was written to the zoo in charge to inquire if he would like to keep a bear at the zoo. He affirmed, and then Baba was sent to Mysore Zoo, packed in a cage, kept on a lorry. He travelled a distance of 87 miles to reach the zoo. Although everyone missed Baba, but they were relaxed too. The narrator's wife was disturbed. She wept and worried about Baba's well-being. Initially, she did not eat or drink. She wrote a letter to the zoo in charge to inquire about Baba. He replied that Baba was also undergoing a similar situation like her. She would ask her friends visiting Mysore to visit Baba and check out on him. Everyone gave a similar report that Baba was fine but appeared thin and sad. The staff at the zoo said that he seemed worried. The narrator restrained his wife from visiting the zoo for 3 months. One day, she said that she wanted to see Baba, and if he would not take her, then she would go herself by train or bus. Finally, they went to see Baba at the zoo. Their friends had predicted that Baba would not recognize her, and the narrator had thought so too. But to their amazement, she was a few steps away from the cage when Baba saw her and recognized her. He screamed with happiness. She ran up to him, petted him, and Baba was very happy to have her back. She remained there for 3 hours. She fed Baba different things which were his favorites. As the zoo had to close, they had to leave. The narrator's wife did not want to leave Baba, and both of them cried bitterly. Even the zoo in charge was sad. The narrator was fine because he knew that the next step would be to take Baba back along to Bengaluru. The wife requested the in charge that she wanted to take Baba back. He replied that the bear was government property and that she needed permission from the superintendent in Bengaluru. They returned to Bengaluru and visited the superintendent at his bungalow. She cried and requested that both of them had been worrying for each other. She requested to have Baba back. The superintendent was a kind-hearted man and he accepted her request. He wrote to the zoo in charge to arrange a cage for transporting Baba to Bengaluru. They went to Mysore with the superintendent's letter. Baba was put in a cage and the cage was kept on the top of the car. It was tied securely and they returned to Bengaluru. At their home in Bengaluru, a team of workers was employed to execute some special work in the backyard. As Baba was a full-grown bear, he had to be kept isolated. So an island which was 20 feet long and 15 feet wide was built. It was surrounded by a dry pit which was 6 feet wide and 7 feet deep. This type of island you have seen in the zoo. It was made like this because the bear would not be able to cross the pit over to areas that were inhabited by people, as it could be a threat to them. Things which were used by Baba had been kept securely. These were kept on the island. They were a wooden box which was previously used to keep cocks and hens and would now be used by Baba to sleep in at night. Straw was kept in the box to keep him warm. The piece of wood which Baba cradled like a baby, the stick that he used to point a gun, were also placed on the island so that he could play with them. When the place was ready, the workers placed the cage on the island and Baba was removed from it. He was happy to be free, stood on his back legs, pointed the stick and cradled the piece of wood. The narrator's wife spent many hours with him as he lay in her lap, although he was 15 months old and was quite heavy in weight. The narrator's wife visits Baba frequently, and the way in which she reaches and leaves the island is interesting. They have a rope tied to a mango tree with a loop at one end. She would place one foot in the loop and kick off with the other. This way, she would fly in the air to cover the 6-foot long distance to reach the island. She would make the return trip in a similar way. On seeing the affection shared by Baba and the narrator's wife, we can conclude that animals have emotions. They remember people and all of them have individual qualities just like human beings have. Now, the message of the story. The story conveys the message of the need of showing kindness to animals, for they too are creatures created by the same God who created human beings. Animals have a right to dignified and free life. Kenneth Anderson's friend kills the sloth bear, Bruno's mother. This senseless act leaves the bear cub alone. Thus, human beings, being superior in intelligence and evolution, have a special responsibility towards animals and birds, pets or wild. Animals also experience the feelings of love, joy, pain and separation just like human beings. When Bruno is sent to the zoo, the narrator's wife weeps and frets, especially when she hears her Baba is inconsolable in Mysore and is refusing food. Bruno is delighted when he sees her and stands on his head to show his pleasure. Thus, animals are equally devoted and loyal in reciprocating the love human beings give them. Love all the creatures on this earth. Animals also need love and affection like human beings need. Read the story and enjoy it. Thank you.